Hey everyone, before we begin anything, I'd like to just confirm once. Has everyone received the software? And just check to whom I had shared it. So it was Jhansi,
Yes,
then
I
Subbu, Jhansi,
Yeah, I did receive it.
Shri, Yedidi. Not sure Shri is very Shri, and one more person is Naresh. These four people I had shared the software yesterday, along with other installation documents which you have to install. Guys, so have you downloaded the jar file?
Yes.
Can you try installing it so that over the weekend you can practice the things that we have done so far? Like we haven't done much, but at least the installation and other things should be there. So you can spend some time on the application over the weekend.
okay, Ashish, we will do it today.
No, do it right now. Do you have the things downloaded? Or if you download it, how long will it take?
No, actually, my laptop it is outside, so
Okay. What about others?
I have downloaded. I'll just finish the setup.
So is
Do
it
we have
working?
to do any kind of a memory setting? It says no memory
No,
set.
no,
No,
nothing,
yeah.
nothing, nothing. Just rename the jar file.
Yeah.
That's it.
CQ author and CQ publisher.
Port number is
Yeah. Okay.
CQ author and publish and port number.
Yeah.
Were you able to create the Maven project and install it in your system?
Oh no, my server is still coming also.
Okay.
I try it as before.
Okay. What about others?
Yeah, hello, sir.
Yep. Hi. Hi, Naresh.
Sir, it has been it's showing about Adobe Experience Manager Start Quick Start. It's not installing, sir.
Can you share the screen? Let's see.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Can you see my screen, sir?
Not yet. Wait. I'll stop sharing. Yeah, I see it now.
Yeah. It for a very long time it will be like this only.
Okay. So, like in the session only, I have told you how you can find out whether actually things are getting started in the back end or not.
Yeah. It you need to go for error, right?
Yes.
Hmm.
Logs. Logs. Do you have Notepad++?
Yes, sir, I have.
So open this with Notepad++. Yes. Close. Can you switch between the tabs once? Not working for you. Make control. Let's see what's happening.
Ashish, I'm able to log into the site. System console. See all the 576 bundles active. Although it says 581 bundles.
Come again?
It says 581 bundles and 576 bundles active.
Yeah. Sorry, it says 581 bundles and 570.
6 active.
Okay. Are you able to log into your, like, is your platform getting opened and you are able to log in?
I was able to log into the local host 4502. I'm on a Mac, so I don't get this dialog.
Yeah, for you, because in the jar file, it's a little bit different for you. You'll have to enable, 1 second, I'll tell you what do you have to enable. The command, no?
I just did a Java-jar and then the jar.
In that, no, the command which you're running, java-jar, in that, just add this thing. Where is this? So, chat. Add this flag, FNGUI.
But
You should see this kind of pop-up.
okay. Right.
Naresh, I'm taking control.
Yeah. Sir, should I click yes or no?
Yes. This is Naresh, let me control. Just hold on a minute.
Hello, sir.
Like, are you controlling your screen?
No. I'm not touching my screen.
So even I'm not doing it. Who is it?
Wait.
Can you try sharing again?
Yes.
No, I'm still on your screen only, Naresh.
I'll click approve. Now, sir?
Okay, I can see it, but I think you have only shared one desktop. Remote control. Exit full screen. Right. Naresh, can you try stop sharing and again reshare? Now try sharing again. Okay. Requesting for control. Can you give it to me? So your AEM has started. Question is whether the jar file got corrupted or not. So what you need to do is, let's close this. Go to your publish. This. So in your case, what is happening is, not sure why, but your Notepad++ is not automatically refreshing things over here. So you'll have to do reload from disk option from the file menu, and you will see the new logs being generated. So have patience. This should automatically start in some time. Okay, this is something else for the machine. Can you open your Chrome once? Oh, so is it coming below, not on the top? Okay. So things are installing for you. Eventually they'll work. Give it some time.
Hey, hi Naresh. Can you go to the system bundle in the browser? Yeah, just keep on refreshing the page and check the bundles there.
Yeah, they are stuck, and they'll stuck as in they'll wait here for a long time, because this is one threshold which it has to cross.
Yeah, actually it takes time in that case, yeah. So if we keep on refreshing this page, the count will tell us what is our status that I have noticed.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It does tell you, but for example, if you refresh it now, if you refresh it now, yeah, the bundle is still same. So you're not sure whether something is happening in the background or not at this point of time. So during that scenario,
Yeah.
always trust your logs. If logs are being generated, then AEM is doing something in the background, which is yet to be reflected. Maybe in the see now the progress bar has started running, and since progress bar ran, now if I reload this, I see a change in numbers. So eventually, the number of bundles which are in installed state will decrease, and the number of bundles which are in active state will keep on increasing. So Naresh, your system will start just fine. Give it few minutes, and it should be working.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Anyone else who would like to share their screen, or are they facing any issues?
Sir,
I'm not
every
able to create.
every time I need to refresh this, sir, or it will take automatic.
Yeah, just you have to refresh this page.
Yeah. Okay.
Create a project in Eclipse for the
Naresh, you can stop sharing now.
Can I share the screen?
Okay. Anyone else who is facing any issues in installation? So if there are no issues, then let's. How much time do we have left? We're left with half an hour. Can we go in half an hour?
I'm not able to create a project on Eclipse.
Sorry. The catalog would be empty for you. No, it is. It can. Okay, fine. It has the catalog. Select one archetype. Now click on next.
The selector creates a there it doesn't.
Go to click on back. Okay. Can you do a like restart of this AEM, sorry, Eclipse and try again?
Yeah, sure.
But why are you getting this step first? Generally, the step should have been something else.
Maybe this is a plugin issue. I'll try from and then import the project. Then
Come again.
I'll try from the console and import the project into Eclipse.
So did that work?
No, I'll try that. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go ahead.
Try that.
Let's
Then
go ahead.
again, there are n number of ways to create it. It maybe could be an issue with Mac because
Yeah.
not sure that plugin is supposed to work properly in Mac or no.
I'll try and I'll ping you back on our WhatsApp.
Okay, perfect.
Go ahead.
Perfect. Anybody else? So have you seen authoring and publishing?
I've only seen authoring. Can we should
Yep,
start
yep.
publishing also.
Yeah, sure. I'm sharing my screen now. So what I'm going to do is, so far I've only created authors. I'll copy these two. Publisher, paste it over here. Rename this from author to publish. I'm going to change the port number to 4503 and double click on this chart. Now, if you observe, it's starting AEM on port number 4503. 4502 is already present, and there's one which is getting started on 4503. So let it start. Meanwhile, we'll open our author, which is 4502. We will go to sites. So whenever you want to see the similar console, on this option, wherever you are, if you want to find click on this option and it will bring you to the root. Click on sites. Again, this is for the product navigation. You see, this is your left rail. This will show you the parent hierarchy, or basically the folder hierarchy you are in. This is for searching. This is for switching the view. From here, you can have a card view like this. Card view does not make sense over here. So always stick to column view, because then you can see what all things are present internally. Go to United States. VRetail is a out of the box project. Go to United States, click on English, click on edit. So since I'm opening this page for the first time, it is going to take a little bit longer to generate all the references in the background. But once it is done, it would be a lot faster. Also, what is happening at this point is my publisher is also trying to get activated. So as long as this is working, I'm good. In this fashion, you can open all the pages which are there in your sites and the United States versions of VDDL. Right now, I'm in English page. And over here, you see you already have some predefined page with some components which has been authored. And immediately, one thing you'll observe is while hovering that as soon as you go to any of the elements, you see a blue line. This blue line is an indication that the specific text or the specific section on the page is built by something called as title component. This section or this HTML that you see over here on the right side, online support with outdoor, with our outdoor specialist, is a site feature component. Similarly, this is also site feature component, site feature component. This is a teaser component. And at the end, you can see it over here bottom, and so on. Another thing to notice over here is you have this toggle button, okay, which over here you can see all the assets which are there in the AEM. You can drag and drop your assets from here. This is to show what all components are present, and this is to show you the root tree content hierarchy. Which component, like carousel, contains 3 teaser components. There is a site feature which is inside layout container. And this image, if you minimize this, then there is an image which is outside the layout container. All those things you can see. Along with that, you have this option which is called as page information. And this will tell you more about pages, what all properties are applying, how you can view it in publish mode, and so on. And this is an emulator. This shows how this page will appear to the end user once they are in iPad, or let's say when they're in iPhone, how will the page appear to the end user? Let's say they're in Galaxy, this is how the page is going to appear to them. So you can emulate the view of the end user over here, and then accordingly you can make changes. So we'll get back to desktop again. Let's do a refresh. Now we are back in the desktop mode. Over here, you have various modes. Skip this for now. This is the preview mode. So if you click on preview, it will give you a glimpse how the page is going to appear to the end user. Okay. And then you can switch back to the edit mode. And in edit mode, you can edit the page. Another thing that you can do is you have an option called as view as published. So if you click on view as published, what it will do is it will show how the page is going to look when the page is published. And then you can have the proper interaction with the page by clicking on its elements, by hovering and checking if all the things are getting working properly or no, and all those small things. Now, in edit mode, there is one more thing which is quite important. At the bottom, you will see there is a rectangular box which says drag components here. So this is something called as parses or a responsive grid. So what does it do? It's a placeholder which will hold the components which you will drag and drop on the page. See, I'm just toggling the side panel. Let's go to content tree. And right now there is a layout container which has all the elements, title, discovery, and blah 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 blah. Let me go ahead and add one title component. So how do you add a component? Click on the parses. Either you can double click on the parses, and there you'll see a plus icon which says insert component. Click on this and you will see a list of components. Okay. These are all the components which have been allowed to be dragged and dropped on the page. So I'll go with the title for now. So now as soon as I drag a title, I'm able to update the content of the page. Whatever I'll type, it will get rendered over here. I can change from H1 to H2. If I want to link it to something, I can do that as well. Let's stick to H now. Like this one. Now it's appearing as linked. So all those options are there at title component. Similarly, if I drag and drop another component over here, let's say text. I can, in this component, I can mark it bold, italic, and all those things. Let's click on OK. So now I have a text. And if you observe this editors and the text, they got appended just inside the layout container. So this was the layout container, and at the bottom, they got appended. Why? Because this layout container, this parses is called my layout container, or basically it's a container which is holding the other components for me. And this process of interchanging the content of the page with the help of dialog is called as authoring. This is the dialog. Okay. So the process of changing the content of the page by dragging and dropping components and then authoring those components with the help of dialog is called as authoring. Any doubt in that statement? Guys?
Ashish, one question. The layout container part, what you told. So by default, it comes under that layout container.
I didn't understand your question.
Whenever we drag any component, it comes, it shows under the layout container, or
Because
or
this is
why it is. Mhm.
this is the container, right? Because it's like it's a container in which you are dragging and dropping your components. So it's always be inside container.
Okay, that is why in the left hand pan, it is showing inside the layout container, right? Yeah, in that area, the newly added component, it's showing inside the layout container, right?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
So my
I
publish
have another question. So when you showed that in the publish mode and in the authoring mode, so what happens in publish mode? That grid, those border, the drag doesn't show, but in the authoring it shows. What happens in the background actually?
it's the mode which is changing. If you remove this from the URL, you're in editor mode, touch UI mode, basically over here.
Yeah, and when we see in the publish, so internally what happens here?
View as published, right? So this
when we see
this thing is treated differently. It adds a lot of extra classes, lot of extra HTML elements inside. If you try to inspect and see.
Okay, and CSS and other grids also, right? Okay.
N number of classes and number of JavaScript is injected inside this one. all these things are there. Just hovering over this keeps on changing everything for you. Because
Okay.
you are in the edit mode. So it has to give all the classes which are responsible for editing, for letting you edit the page.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Once you go over here, all you see is a plain HTML with no editing options. You see, this is the HTML which you would be familiar with.
Yeah.
Just being
Yes.
all
Those are not present. Yeah.
So normal publisher is also on. Let it load. Why is it so slow? What's taking this much? 5% of my space, 60%. Finally. So this is my publisher. Okay. You can interact with it. You can click. You will behave like a normal website. Only thing is it's hosted. It's currently running on localhost. Now, another thing that we have to see is now the publisher is ready. You have an option. See the content of the publisher. Nothing is present. No new content is present. In the page information, you have an option called as publish page. It will open the publish view. It will ask that, okay, you are publishing the page, but what about the assets which are associated with the page? So we will publish all the assets, all the images and everything. Click on publish. So within a minute or 2 minutes, it published everything, and on the top you'll see a notification that the page has been published. Now if you go and reload your page, see at the bottom there was nothing. Let's reload the publisher. And as you can see, the new text which I had added on the page is available now. If I update anything, it's only visible in author. It's not visible in publisher. Okay. But if I activate the page again, I basically publish the page. See, the page has been published. See, once I reload the publisher now. So this is getting updated. So the process of pushing the data from author to publisher is called as publishing the page, or activating the page, or replicating the page. Or you can call it publishing, activating, or replicating. Any question in those two things that we saw, authoring and publishing?
No, Ashish.
No? So try everything that we have done so far. Okay. Because your systems and everything, we need to confirm whether you are able to, basically you need to confirm whether you are able to create the project and deploy it in AEM. If you are able to do that, then all your installations and everything is working properly. And from Monday onwards, we will create the first static template. And then with that static template, we'll create the page rendering components. And after that, we'll start seeing other things. So from Monday, we'll start writing the custom code that we have been talking about so far.
Okay.
Sure then. If there are no questions, then let's meet on Monday. Thanks everyone. Bye.